Title: The Shadow of Sarah. 4 months after his sister Sarah's untimely death, Liam had felt her presence in the house. It was subtle at first. A faint whiff of her perfume in the hallway, the creak of the floorboards outside his bedroom at night. He chalked it up to grief and an overactive imagination. After all, Sarah had always been a trickster in life, playing pranks and sneaking up on him in the dark. He figured his mind was just replaying old memories. But then the whispers began. It was late one night when Liam first heard it. He was lying in bed, the house cloaked in silence, when a faint voice hissed his name from the corner of the room. Liam. He bolted upright, heart hammering, but the corner was empty. His bedside lamp illuminated nothing but a stack of laundry on a chair. Telling himself it was a dream, he turned off the light and pulled the covers over his head. But the whispers didn't stop. Night after night, they grew louder, more insistent. One evening, as Liam sat on the couch scrolling through his phone, the temperature in the room dropped suddenly. He shivered, looking around. That's when he noticed something odd in the hallway mirror. A shadow that didn't belong. It was small, childlike, and it stood perfectly still. "Hello," Liam called out, his voice trembling. The shadow darted out of view. Liam ran to the hallway, but it was empty. The air felt thick, heavy, like he was being watched. He closed the bedroom door that night, locking it tight. Over the next few weeks, the shadow became bolder. Liam would catch glimpses of it out of the corner of his eye, lurking at the end of the hallway, standing by the kitchen door, or peeking out from under the stairs. It always moved too quickly for him to confront it. He tried telling himself it was his imagination, but then he noticed something horrifying. The shadow looked like a child Sarah had once spoken about. Liam remembered it now. The pale, gaunt boy Sarah used to see when she was little. She called him Elliot and insisted he lived in her closet. Their parents dismissed it as a phase, but Sarah had been terrified of him. She'd cried for hours the day they moved to this house, claiming Elliot had followed them. Liam's unease grew into dread when he started hearing footsteps at night. Small, pattering feet scurrying across the floor above him. He lived alone. One night, as he was brushing his teeth, he glanced in the mirror and froze. Sarah's reflection was behind him, her eyes sunken, her skin gray and decayed. "Don't let him in," she whispered, her voice raspy and broken. Liam spun around, but the room was empty. That night, the whispers escalated into screams. They echoed through the house, shaking the walls. The shadow no longer lingered in the corners. It moved freely now, flickering like a dying flame. Liam saw it crawling across the ceiling, limbs twisted and elongated. Then it spoke. "He's mine now." The voice was Sarah's, but distorted and inhuman. Liam backed into a corner, clutching a baseball bat, as the shadow solidified into a figure, a grotesque mix of Sarah and the child she used to describe. Its face was an endless void, black and featureless except for glowing, hollow eyes. "Sarah," Liam whimpered. The creature tilted its head, a sickening crack echoing as its neck twisted unnaturally. "You left me," it hissed, lunging toward him. Liam woke up hours later, sprawled on the floor of his bedroom. The house was silent, but the air still felt wrong. He checked the mirror, the corners, the shadows. Nothing moved, and he dared to hope it was over. But then he noticed the scratches on the inside of his closet door. Deep, jagged lines, as though a child's fingers had been clawing to get out. And beneath the bed, just barely audible, came the soft, lilting voice of a little boy. "Elliot is here, and he's not leaving."